On our way back to Edinburgh from the Isle of Man, we stopped in Lancaster for a brief layover waiting for a train. We had a good lunch and we got to see the Lancaster Castle, which was free to tour. We walked in and checked out the beautiful grounds and the beautiful architecture, those classic castle, they call them crenulations, like teeth at the top. And we found out that this castle was not only a prison, but also a courthouse, and there were witch trials there. After our very brief tour of Lancaster, we headed back to the train and got to see cute doggies greeting their owners and actually dogs taking trips on trains. And that made me smile. Jay and I got on the train and took our last train ride back to Edinburgh, finding our seat and just chilling out for a little while. On our way back into the city of Edinburgh, those classic castle turrets on all the buildings were so beautiful. Here's Jay and I standing next to a beautiful stone building and all of the beautiful wool suits. We got to check out some music that evening in several places. This was our restaurant. Then we walked through the city, saw some musicians in the city as well, just playing in the middle of the street. Got to see a bar that was focused on Frankenstein. The National Museum of Scotland was closed by the time we got there, but we got to check out a place called Dropkicks instead. And of course, I danced. Jay got to rub the nose of Greyfriar Bobby's statue, which is a dog sculpture. And then we got to see some more beautiful music. Last day in Edinburgh. We did not sleep in teepees last night. We slept in a hotel room with walls and a bathroom very close, thank goodness. And we're gonna go explore the city, see a castle, have some pastries, because that's what you do in Europe, and coffee. And then we're gonna go to different neighborhoods to check it out. So more to come. Baklava for breakfast? Yes, please. We walked around the town around where our hotel was, took a bus to the middle of the city, and then we got to see this beautiful market that was across from the Edinburgh Castle. We explored there and I bought a hat to replace the one I lost. We bought some delicious food, and then we headed up the hill to the castle. I'm officially Scottish. I have a cute Scottish hat. There's a castle in the background. Scottish! We walked through beautiful gardens with rose bushes and purple flowers, and then we came upon this plaza with a lot of buildings that I didn't know what they were, but there was Scottish music, and I was drawn to it. And of course, I had to dance. Finally, we made it to the Edinburgh Castle, which had been around since the Iron Age, been through wars, was actually a military prison and prison. It had quite a history and quite a view. The cannons at the top of the building were poised and still ready, even though there's no war. And here was Jay and I. I love the Armory Hall. And then we came out and found this musician on the street. We made our way to Victoria Street, which was one of my favorites. We found a shop that made chocolate drinks. It was dark chocolate and not too sugary. The colors of Victoria Street were so beautiful, and definitely this inspired one of the Harry Potter scenes from the movie. So there were a lot of tourists and a Harry Potter shop on that street. We made our way through the city. We found a cool cemetery in the middle of the street, a cafe that helped adults with disabilities, and bakery shops all over. There's the Edinburgh Castle again. As we made our way through some heavy traffic towards what's called Dean's Village, which is a beautiful, picturesque place with a river that runs through this wooded pathway. It felt like an oasis in the middle of the city, and it was lovely to just walk there and get out of the hubbub for a moment and see a beautiful waterfall. Of course, I made my way to the National Galleries of Scotland and took Jay with me and checked out some cool artwork. There were so many beautiful paintings and sculptures and different things at this art gallery. It was so inspiring. We had about 20 minutes to go through the whole thing, so we went rather quickly through all the exhibits, but it still was beautiful. And finally, making our way outside to their courtyard, I made my way to a yoga class that evening, found some Scottish hats for my mom and I, and we ate some Korean barbecue.
Jay.
We made our way back to Victoria Street at the end of the evening and found a bar and music location called Finnegan's, where we got to dance the night away with new friends. Oh my gosh, you guys, I have spent 14 days in Scotland. It's been an epic adventure, and I've proven to myself that I am braver, stronger, and able to do things that I didn't think I could do. And I'm headed home to the US, and I'm not sure if I'm ready for that yet. It was my birthday, so we headed to have a good breakfast before we got on the plane, and we found this little guy just hanging out in the street, so we had to give him some pets and some love. He was such a sweet little meatball of a pit bull.
Yeah, you are. Hi, baby.
Such a good boy. And then we headed off to the coolest cafe called the Black Sheep Cafe. The artwork was amazing inside this cafe. I got a discount because it was my birthday. Last day in Scotland, a vegan cake and an acai bowl for breakfast. Yes. And then, of course, I had to groove just a little bit, get my energy up, and move around, have some fun. The bus ride back to the airport was rainy, and I said goodbye to all the beautiful buildings, goodbye to the green city of Edinburgh, and got to see a beautiful rainbow before heading back to the United States on my birthday.